Hello, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Riding the Pine, and probably a very depressing one at that. We got Sheebs here as always. Rough day for him. I'm Adam. Rough day for me. Marv, he had some business to take care of. Can't be here tonight, so we'll look forward to having him back. And during the week, obviously, we got Thanksgiving on Thursday, so we might shoot.
Oh wow, I didn't even realize that Thanksgiving episode. That's crazy.
Yeah, we might shoot for like a Wednesday nighter. Get it out on Thanksgiving morning. I'll do something like that. We'll figure it out as the week goes on. But Sheebs and I are here right now. We got a NFL Week 11 breakdown for you. NBA news to cap it off. Not as much as last weekend. No Masters going on. A lot of college games are shut down. That's what we do. We do football. So let's fucking get into it, man. Let's start in Cleveland, where the rain kept falling again. 2 weeks ago was about 400-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Last week was a little bit of everything. Today was just some steady rain, and it led to a 22-17 Browns win. Only one offensive touchdown for the Browns, courtesy of Kareem Hunt. Taki had interception return and probably one of the ugliest throws ever, and a safety led to the Browns' 22-point.
I would have to say the biggest crime of the day is I was at my girlfriend's most of the day, and the only local game I could get was Philadelphia versus Cleveland. I couldn't even get the actual game I wanted to see, which was the Ravens and Titans, which we'll get to soon. But
I was watching that one.
God.
Really, the 1 o'clock games were less than stellar besides that Ravens-Titans game. So that's the game I really honed in on at 1 o'clock.
Gotta see fucking Carson Wentz do Carson Wentz things. 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. The guy fucking sucks.
Yeah, no, Carson Wentz not good.
That team stinks.
His meter is gone. They let a Super Bowl MVP walk for him. So let's just remind everybody about that.
Like
Browns' best start since 1994.
Yeah, good for them. Shout out Dylan McGinnis, the only Cleveland Browns fan that I know has been through it through thick and thin. And now he is 7-3.
Yeah, their best start since 94. And if the playoffs started today, the Browns would be sitting in the 6th spot. And that would lead them to a wild card matchup against the Bills. That would be a good one. But of course, a lot of season left.
Of course, I lose money in DraftKings too.
With the Eagles going down, and the Washington football team winning, Dallas winning, the Giants being on a bye week, the bottom 3 teams in that division are 3-7. The Eagles sit first at 3-6-1, and again, that tie is what's going to get them into the playoffs. It's going to be that stupid freaking tie where Doug Peterson didn't have the cojones to kick it instead of electing to punt.
Yep.
So that tie is really going to help the Eagles. Didn't help them today. Cleveland moves to 7-3 with the win. Down in NOLA, Taysom ran up over the hills to avoid the Falcons, and he succeeded. A 24-9 win over Atlanta. Again, not a very exciting game. Taysom Hill ran a couple in.
I'm impressed though, because what did I send to the group chat as soon as he found out we found out he was starting? It's like, I guess I'll take the Falcons now.
Yeah. I mean, he played well. He's not a scrub by any means. I just thought.
But the thing is, though, is like Stephen A. was saying on First Take on Friday, like the Max Kellerman was like, yeah, like we'll find out what he can do and stuff, blah blah blah. And Stephen A. is like, unless Sean Payton really, really knows something that we don't know. Like the guy's 30. By this point, you should already know if he can throw the ball and read defenses well and make quick decisions.
Well, he threw for 233, led the team in rushing.
Yeah, he's fast. That gives him an advantage though for them to open up that offense more, because you're not going to see them turning Drew Brees loose to run around.
Yeah, definitely a different dynamic to the Saints offense. Brees he's going to be back, obviously. Some point they just the time frame, they're unsure of it right now.
Very sad day for Todd Gurley. Very
Todd
sad.
Gurley and Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan had 2 picks, barely threw for 200 yards. Todd Gurley, I don't even think got 30 rushing yards.
Good day for Michael Thomas though. 9 for
Michael Thomas broke 100. Kelvin Ridley was right there. I think he finished 5 of 99 yards. So the Saints with this win and Packers loss, that puts them in the driver's seat in the NFC. They take over the 1 seed with an 8-2 record. This puts Atlanta with Dallas winning to very last in the NFC in very good contention for a top 2 pick in the draft. They're not the Jets. They're going to get that 1 pick, but Atlanta's right there for at least 2, 3, 4 pick. Washington, where unfortunately Joe Burrow out for the year, torn ACL.
That sucks. That really does. Everybody, I feel like everybody's rooting for that guy.
We joked about it earlier in the week. The 2 pick versus the 1 pick, and Chase Young lit him up on one scramble towards the end zone. And I made a comment. No, obviously, if you listen to it differently, it's taken out the wrong way. Said Joe Burrow's probably going to get his head ripped off this game. The expression, obviously. Then sad to see it was actually his knee that got.
Shout out Chase Young, though, for going up to Burrow on the cart and, talking to him and, basically like, yeah, you're going to be good, man, like type shit.
Those 2 guys that their careers are always going to be linked together. Any people that go 1-2 in draft, or whether it's quarterback, the end, you go 1-2 in a draft, you're going to be linked forever. So that was nice. Chase Young and Joe Burrow, he'll be back. Young guy. Gives the Bengals more time to figure out what they need to build around him.
Yeah, it's not like they were going anywhere this year anyways, because, Ryan Finley comes in the game and he goes 3 for 10.
Yeah, Finley did not look good. That's a tough spot to be thrown into. You're not expecting your new franchise quarterback to go down with a ACL tear.
And you got to go and play behind that offensive line. Like,
you got to be ready.
Like, aren't you, like, all right, I'm going to put you in a scenario. You are an offensive lineman for the Cincinnati Bengals.
I retire.
Aren't you embarrassed? Like, aren't you embarrassed that people look at the Cincinnati Bengals and they're just like, oh, Joe Burrow is a good quarterback, but pretty much everybody in his offensive line is fucking trash. Like, you're making your millions of dollars, but everybody thinks you stink.
Pull Vontae Davis and I just retire at halftime. I think that's who did it. You get fact
he's probably looking at the Bills now and like, damn, I wish I hung around for a little while longer.
Credit towards due though, Washington. I mean, Terry McLaurin and cementing his name. Alex Smith did just enough to get this team a win.
I would love, even like if they make the playoffs. They're not going to go past the first. They might be able to make like some huge upset and squeak into the second round of the playoffs. But like, just imagine Alex Smith starting in a playoff game.
Yeah, he hasn't. Well, no, he was with the Chiefs.
Well, yeah, but like
starter
now since his like injury, like that would be.
I was trying to think of the last time he was there, and I knew he made it with the Chiefs. If there's one team in that East I'm really pulling for, it's Washington. I think of the 4 teams, they have the brightest future. It'd be nice. It'd be kind of ironic to see them nudge into the postseason this year with the dysfunction of the front office and just the dysfunction of the whole division. I think it would just...
It is the worst division in the history of ever.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's worse than the NFC West years ago, worse than the NFC South was not too long ago. With I think the Panthers made it sub 500.
Game update though, the Vegas and Kansas City game is back from halftime, where the Las Vegas Raiders are beating the Chiefs 17-14. Patrick Mahomes, another interception. Coincidentally, both interceptions. Yeah, both interceptions he's thrown this season are against Vegas. Josh Jacobs had a nice touchdown. Edwards-Helaire, 46 yards and a touchdown. So I think we're going to see a game that's going to come right down to the wire.
Yeah, I hope so. We need some entertainment tonight after we get off here. Tough week for the Raiders, too. I mean, with the whole COVID situation going on in their locker room, they really couldn't practice this week. They had guys on Zoom yelling out play calls and whatnot. So the fact they even got their nose in this game, it's a good job by Gruden and company. Touch on the Carolina-Detroit game briefly. I mean, not much there. PJ Walker coming in, getting his first career win in place of Teddy. And I guess you could say there's some QB controversy brewing up now down there in Carolina.
He did throw 2 interceptions, but like it's
That's
his first game.
Hey, shutout win. If you were to tell me that the Panthers defense would shut a team out this year, I would have laughed in your face.
Matthew Stafford, 18 of 33, 178 yards. Adrian Peterson.
First time.
Why did you go to Detroit?
Stafford too.
Like, I don't know what the market was for Adrian Peterson, but you're a future Hall of Famer, for sure, first ballot. And you're on the downside of your career. And you go and play for the Detroit Lions.
You explained it. He wanted to go somewhere where he was going to be a mentor. It wasn't necessarily about winning for him. It was a place that needed him and where he was going to be used.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, it would be just so nice to have seen him go to a contender where he actually has a shot of winning the Super Bowl. Like, Randy Moss went to the 49ers that year. You know, it's just, I wish I would have seen him go to, like, Tampa Bay or something, you know?
Can't blame the man for picking where he wants, though.
Yeah.
Did it for a reason.
Respect it, though, if he's going there to be a mentor.
I know you and Marv took Detroit. I was saying I liked Carolina with this game. I didn't think it would be like this.
Your buddy, DJ Moore. They unleashed him.
Moore, Twinkle Toes. Nice game. Another one that we could kind of go right by him. Steelers go to 10-0. Yeah. Chase Claypool, 10 touchdowns in 10 games. I mean, they do what they should have done to the Jags. 27-3. The Jags got off to a 3-0 lead to start the game, and obviously all Steelers from there. This is how we expected it to go.
Well, and 4 interceptions and 151 yards. That's not good.
A lot of picks. That's a lot of picks. I know Minka had one.
Oh, boy.
This is what great teams are supposed to do to really shitty teams.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that soon.
Steelers opening my eyes at least a little bit. I wasn't a full believer a couple weeks ago. Wasn't even a full believer last week. I'm hopping on to the belief train of the Steelers. I know the schedule hasn't been what we call a tough one, but they're still winning the games that they should be winning. The game of the 1 o'clock hour, though, that Tennessee-Baltimore game. Baltimore was up 21-10. Tennessee comes rumbling back, forces the OT.
Derrick Henry's
hands and
put the game once again his massive back, and just you know,
a little chippy before the game. Little chippy before a little baby fight, little itty bitty baby fight. You know, even Harbaugh and Vrabel, they were talking beforehand. A revenge game. It was supposed to be for the Ravens, so you can understand.
Shout out Corey Davis.
Yeah, Corey Davis, nice little game. Jonnu Smith finally coming in with a touchdown. I said he was due for something.
Yeah, you said
he was due.
I picked him in DraftKings. It's just other people I picked screwed me.
Yeah, Johnny had a TD. AJ Brown. You see his grown man touchdown?
I didn't, but I heard it was really good.
Yeah, AJ Brown making grown men plays out there.
The Ravens, I don't know.
Ravens are frauds.
To go with them at this point, they're just not who we thought they were. It's the Madden curse for Lamar Jackson. I don't know why at this point anyone would want to be on the cover of that fucking game because
even last year, I didn't think Baltimore was all that in a bag of chips. I really didn't. You sound like a fucking 8-year-old all that in a bag of chips, but I didn't think that they were all that last year. I didn't think that from top to bottom they were a great football team. I just thought they had
Earl Thomas jinxed them.
Yeah, you could say that.
Saying they were gonna go in there and it's gonna be different with Derrick Henry, and the guy couldn't even come close to tackling Derrick Henry. You know what he's doing now? Nothing, because he's been caught in controversy after controversy. He's unraveling.
Derrick Henry finished with 133. Wasn't his 194 from the divisional round last year.
And he did not throw a touchdown this time.
He did not throw a touchdown, but I digress. He did score the winning touchdown, though. The Titans, they put themselves back into playoff positioning, and with the Colts win, they don't have the division lead, but they do have their noses in. Ravens fall out of the playoff picture.
Come on, Lamar. 186 yards, 1 touchdown, and a pick. The reigning MVP in a game that you got to win that game against the team that knocked you out of the playoffs last year, and you come in and play like dog shit. I'm disappointed in the Ravens. I am. I'm disappointed in John Harbaugh.
I use the term fraud with them just because of how hyped up everyone else made them going into the year and then during the beginning part of the season. I will say though, going into Thursday against Pittsburgh, that's a game that they could have. They're still a good team with talent. It's not like they're just going to get steamrolled week after week.
Yeah,
I mean,
but like they just
they're not this unbeatable matchup for teams. The offense got figured out.
Shout out Des Bryant though for having a few catches. 4 for 28, but hey, he's back on the field.
Getting his nose back in NFL football. The last of the 1 o'clock hour, a game again with no real implications. Houston and New England. Houston takes that one 27-20 to Deshaun Watson.
The one game where Cam Newton decides to throw for actual like yards, not like 100 yards, rinky dink. Throws for 365 and they lose.
Yeah, Watson put up 344, 2 touchdowns. He also led Houston in rushing. I mean, just does it all. And I know he lost Randall Cobb. I know he lost Kenny Stills in that game, at least for a little bit. That left him really with just Brandon Cook. Bless you. That's not like a fucking elephant.
Technical difficulties.
It's like an elephant seat.
Thank you.
I mean, the only real implication I had was New England was on the outside looking in by like 2 games anyway. Now they're on the outside looking in by 3 games. So their postseason hopes dwindling away. Miami gets double slapped. Houston gets a win. Miami takes an L, so it doesn't help Miami in terms of the draft. Nothing really big in this game. Nothing really notable to talk about besides Watson just being the Texans all by himself. I don't know why he signed an extension there. I really don't. I mean, it was a good move by Houston to lock him up, but if I were him, I'd get the fuck out of there.
Pull James Harden and just be like, I want to leave.
Really? I mean, hey, he got his bag though. Even the 4 o'clocks. I mean, that Miami-Denver game, Tua actually came out for poor performance. Fitzpatrick came in.
He got hurt too.
Tua? I didn't see anything on an injury. I know he got pulled just straight up for performance. Fitzpatrick through the game-ending interception.
It said that he left the game after apparent leg injury. He got sacked or some shit. He really wasn't doing that bad. He was, I mean, all right, not like spectacular. He was 11 of 20 for 83 yards and a touchdown, no picks, but he was sacked 6 times.
I mean, that's a Dolphins offensive line with 3 rookies starting on it.
Yeah.
Like they have to develop just as much as Tua does.
I told you, I mean, Devontae Parker had a touchdown. I knew he would have an impact. I mean, they lost, but
Drew Lock's still not elite.
He's not elite. He still stinks, even though they won.
Drew Lock not elite.
Gordon had 2 touchdowns, but
Dolphins are still a good football team. It's okay. It happens. You give up 20 points, you should win. Their offense is going to get it going today. That hurts them in the playoffs now because now they're on the outside looking in, especially with Vegas still holding on to a 3-point lead over Kansas City. If they finish this one strong, then 3 wild cards are Tennessee, Cleveland, Vegas, and Miami's left on the outside. And the Bills now have a full 1-game lead. So Miami could have tied Buffalo for the division. Now they're sitting back there, a full 1 game.
Yeah.
So tough one for Miami, a game that they should have had, falls through. I'll save us for last. Let's go with again another shit bowl. Chargers Jets. Told you guys I like the Jets with the spread.
Yeah.
I thought 9.5 was a lot to give this Chargers team. Chargers do pull.
All I know is I'm pretty sure that I got all my picks wrong. Again, at this point, I'm not surprised in any capacity because I just get screwed by things that should be happening but don't. If you want to put it that way, like I know the Chargers are the Chargers this year, but they should be beating the Jets by more than 6 points.
Especially at home, Herbert was throwing darts.
I mean, Christ, you throw for 366. and 3 touchdowns and no picks, and Keenan Allen has himself a huge day, and you win by 6 points.
Perriman had touchdown. Flacco was slinging it like old Flacco again. I think they're just playing I don't give a shit football. Hey, you're 0-10, man. I mean, they're mathematically eliminated from postseason now.
Now, do they just have Adam Gase there still so they can definitely for sure go 0-16 so they can get Trevor Lawrence, a guy that probably doesn't want to play for them at all because they're just front office is apparently horrible also? Or are they just keeping him around for fun? Just like, oh, we'll have you finish the season. The guy is a terrible coach. That football team is a joke.
It goes well beyond Gase. Gase is a terrible coach, but it goes well beyond.
Yes.
There are so many holes that need to be filled. It's ridiculous. One off season is not going to change anything for the Jets.
They're screwed for at least the next 3 years, I think.
They got to have together. It's got to be a 3 to 5 year plan going on.
And the thing is, though, like that has to be a good plan. Like you have to have the most solid plan ever to be able to pitch to free agents. Like, hey, if you sign a long term deal here, we're gonna do this. Excuse me, and this, because nobody's gonna want to go there.
Well, that's what they try to do, and then they lie.
Anthony Barr, I know he's been hurt the whole year, but do you think he's glad he didn't sign with the New York Jets? Like he was going to.
I'm sure everybody's glad.
Like, Jesus.
I mean, you think Jamal Adams was actually wanting to stick around there? No, he got traded as soon as he could. Le'Veon Bell. I'm gone as soon as I can.
Look at Robbie Anderson's thriving in Carolina.
Yeah. Because he's at a place that has a foundation around him and puts him in position to succeed. You go to the Jets, you're not in a position to succeed.
I feel like it's like, obviously I know there's no fans this year, but they don't care because people are going to fucking be in the seats no matter how bad they are. Like if they're worse fans, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Knicks. The Knicks don't do anything right, and they just it's like they're filling up MSG. Excuse me, Jesus Christ. They're just filling up MSG. They don't care the product on the floor because people are gonna fucking go sit there and spend their money. Regardless.
Just remember, the Jets are the little brother of New York, so if they're gonna be shit, I don't think even the fans are gonna want to go see that. Now,
the Jets are the third. The Jets are the third team in New York, and they probably always will be at this point, given the fact that the Bills have a tremendously bright future for years to come with Josh Allen, and now Stephon Diggs is there. Got very good pieces on that defense, and the Giants definitely have potential. Daniel Jones, I think, has proven that he's not poo.
Nah, he's just turnover ridden. That's things that'll come with time. And, you get to year 4 or 5 and you still can't control the turnovers.
And you have a poopy offensive line and you have a mediocre at best defense. Like at their best, they're probably mediocre. And your generational talent running back tears his ACL is out for the season. So
and this is where I'm hoping NFL fans start to appreciate great teams when they see them or when teams are successful, because it takes everything to click all together to be an amazing team. The amount of times I've seen 2 out of 3 categories checked off where Green Bay looks like an amazing football team, the 8 straight playoff, appearances in a row. It was never a 3 out of 3 thing though, where you have a solid O-line, an insane passing game, a nice run game, with solid defense altogether and special teams. If
like
you
the Chiefs team last year was loaded.
Everything clicked. Everything.
And the Patriots when they won all their Super Bowls. Like think about the Seahawks when they won.
Nasty defense,
and even then when they went to the Super Bowl the second time, they should have won theoretically. You have Marshawn Lynch, you have Russell Wilson, you have Cam Chancellor on that defense. I couldn't think of his name for a second. Earl Thomas when he wasn't bad. and he was actually like an elite safety. Richard Sherman, when he was on the top of his game. Bobby Wagner's always been elite. You had a bunch of other pieces. Michael Bennett, like every level of that team had at least one like really solid player.
And that is what we'll come back around to and say the Jets don't have. And they probably
Jets have none of that. Literally, the Jets have that at basically no level in any position.
So the last couple of games are saving for venting time. So I'll just say this: Cowboys 31, Vikings 28, and I'll leave the floor open.
Where should I even fucking start?
That's for you to tell me.
This is ridiculous. Okay, the Cowboys, the 2-7 Cowboys, the team that averaged 10 points over their last 4 games, with the running back Ezekiel Elliott that hasn't had a fucking 100-yard game the whole season, dropped 31 on the Vikings. Mike Zimmer, you should be ashamed of yourself. Jesus Christ. I know there was 2 fumbles on offense. All right, Kirk Cousins fumbled once, gave the Cowboys good field position, basically started them their drive at like the 20-yard line. Whatever, fine. They get a touchdown, miss the extra point. We get a touchdown, we're up 7-6. Cancels out. Basically a new football game, right? The penalties that I saw in the first half were atrocious. The officiating in the NFL, just not even just in this game and all around, needs to get their shit together and decipher what's a fucking penalty and what's not a penalty. Like Harrison Smith hit CeeDee Lamb as he was catching the ball, and they're like, "Oh, defenseless receiver!" Like the guy couldn't stop, and he squared up his shoulders to hit CeeDee Lamb's chest. It's not like he went helmet to helmet or anything. And he made the exact right play, and he still gets flagged. It's just like ticky-tacky penalties. Like we get a fake punt, and Chris Jones is the gunner, and he moves slightly, and get illegal shifts. Literally, like Colquitt, first pass he's ever thrown in his career, goes for 36 yards to Chris Boyd, gets called back. Later on in the game, Dalvin Cook fumbled after catching a pass, but it really wasn't his fault at all because he got creamed. But so much that the wind got knocked out of him and he had to go off the field for a little bit. But like Dalvin Cook, 27 carries for 115 and a touchdown. Kirk Cousins, 314, 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. And the defense can't give up any less points. You give up 31 points to an abysmal Cowboys team that was 2-7 going into this game. That's not even in a good division. They're in the worst division I have ever seen in my entire life. How do you, like, as bad as Xavier Rhodes was last year and the year before, you let 3 of your veteran corners walk in free agency, Rick Spielman, and you're relying on all first and second year guys they're not going to, like, Jeff Gladney is getting better every week, but he's not going to go out there in his first game and be a shutdown corner. Neither is Cam Dantzler. He's a rookie. Chris Boyd's only in his second year. Holton Hill, he's fucking lost cause at this point. Chris Jones, rookie. Like, what? It doesn't help when you lose Danielle Hunter for the whole season and Anthony Barr for the whole season. Sometimes I feel like Eric Kendricks is out there by himself and Harrison Smith and Anthony Harris. Like, I feel like it's just them on defense. Seems like we lost Adam for a second there, but I'm going to continue my rant. Very, very disappointing. A team that I thought would for sure be 5-5 at the end of today. It had a very good chance to go squeak into the playoffs. Not that they would make it far, but it's just nice to be a part of it.
It's nice to be a part of it. Well,
it's just nice to be a part of it. And they go and blow a game to Andy Dalton and the Cowboys. Andy Dalton, This is ridiculous. Adam Thielen has one of the better games of his season, 123 yards and 2 touchdowns, one which was a very good one-handed touchdown. CeeDee Lamb made a fucking ridiculous acrobatic catch in the end zone that nobody should have made. What the hell is going on?
Well, I can tell you what's going on.
Justin Jefferson had 3 receptions for 86 yards. Definitely still putting his hand in the ring for, or his hat, I don't know why I said his hat in the ring for the Rookie of the Year conversation. Would you agree?
No, his name should be in there, yeah.
He has a legitimate case to be Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I'll tell you, about a minute ago, something came up on my laptop that I think relates to both of us very well. And my internet connection was unstable. You and I are very mentally unstable today. Because just as you have your feelings about today's game, I certainly have mine. And I know very different circumstances.
I watched that game too.
This is a game that going into the season, you go through. This is one of the games I actually had the Packers losing. I had the Packers going 12-4 this year. This is one of the games I had them losing. There's so many ways to attack this fucking game from. First half, Packers deserve to win. You're going into halftime, you're up 28-14, yeah, you deserve to win. Second half, Packers did not deserve to win. Got outscored 17-3 in the second half. Overtime, Packers did not deserve to win.
Didn't the Colts convert on a 3rd and 16?
Okay. Almost. No, it was like 3rd and 19, and it was like a 4th and 4. This game was just so fucked. And I know it's very easy to blame MVS for the fumble in overtime that led to the game-winning field goal, but that was one of 4 turnovers in the fucking game. For a team that had 5 turnovers in the season going into this game, and they have 4 in this game alone, that MVS fumble is the least of the worries right now. Yeah, that's the one that ultimately led to the field goal. So, okay, shouldn't happen, but it happened. The Darius Shepard fumble early in the 4th that gave the Colts the ball right back, or early in the 3rd, gave the Colts the ball right back. We ran 6 plays in the 3rd quarter. It's fucking pathetic. And if it wasn't for MVS, that last drive doesn't happen. That 47-yard bomb that even had the Packers get a chance to go to overtime. The 4th down and 1 play call with like 3 minutes left in the game, that was very questionable. And I know LaFleur said, in hindsight, wasn't a very good call. No shit, it wasn't a very good fucking call. You got Rodgers falling back off balance, and you try to lob it up to Jamal, who's getting pressed. Sloppy game. 4 turnovers, penalties for both teams up the ass. Sloppy game. But bottom line is you're up 28-14. You shouldn't lose a fucking game. But they did.
Yeah.
The Colts, they finally started running the ball down our throats in the second half, realizing that it can't stop the run. But this isn't a loss where I could say, it was this, it was this. No, it was a collective 4 turnovers and a couple really head-scratching play calls that led to this loss. So we go from 1st to 3rd in the NFC. We could have had a 3-game lead over Chicago for the division, but now it's a 2. We got them next Sunday night. It's going to be a long-ass week. It's going to be a long fucking week.
Like, Aaron Rodgers, though, still continues to amaze me. Like, that throw to MVS when he was, like, backed up in his own end zone and, like, perfectly placed it between 3 defenders. Like, if it's anywhere else, it's getting picked.
See, I sound like a spoiled asshole, but that shit's normal to me to watch. Like, when I see quarterbacks not doing that, I'm like, how don't you do that? Because I've just been watching him a whole fucking life between Brett Favre and Rodgers. Yeah, maybe I am a little spoiled as a sports fan, but hey, everyone else had their chance to fucking pick their team growing up. And it's not like the Packers are the greatest team ever. Patriot fans in our lifetime, they haven't fucking made, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've gotten to watch good play, but haven't had the success like that. And then they give you days like today where it's like, how do you lose this fucking game? Oh, yeah, you turn the ball over 4 fucking times. Blew 2 third down calls and a 4th down call.
For sure, though, when I saw that the Colts didn't get the ball to start overtime, like, the Packers already won. But the problem is not Aaron Rodgers. when you fumble the ball and don't give him the opportunity to do his thing, go down the field, you're gonna lose the game.
That's usually how it goes in overtime game for the Packers.
I
Whether
think
it's
this
a turnover or he doesn't touch the football.
the NFL overtime is the biggest abomination. It is a fucking joke. Because
I never liked it.
if Aaron Rodgers did get to go down the field and score, Philip Rivers wouldn't even have stepped on the field, and he wouldn't even had a chance. Same thing with Mahomes in the was it the AFC Championship last year?
Dude, I've seen it's happened to Rodgers before in title games. It happened against the Seahawks.
Yeah, it's
back
just
in
stupid.
2014.
Like how can college football have it figured out and have a very good overtime system in place, but the NFL is like, oh, we're just going to keep this the same because it sucks, and we just want to do stuff that sucks, and we want to make sucky fucking rules. We don't know what a catch is either. We don't know what penalties are. We just guess.
Well, a lot of things are sucky, especially losing and then having to go a week eating that fucking loss. I look ahead at the schedule; it's very favorable. Realistically, we should finish 6-0, but this is a game that could come seeding.
You know what's
bite us in the
sucky?
ass. Vikings have a game that could bite them in the ass. The Dolphins have a game that could bite them in the ass. So if you
The Vikings have to win out if they want to make the playoffs, which I can see them doing in every game except against the Buccaneers.
they played the Saints yet?
They will play the Saints. I don't know. They're always weird with the Saints. Like, no matter how much better the Saints are than them, they always find some way to pull some shit out of their ass and beat the Saints. But you never know what can happen. I didn't think the Cowboys had a chance today, and they won.
The NFL, baby. It's a parity league.
The Vikings could shock the whole entire world and squeak away a win against the Buccaneers. You never know. Very,
open.
very unlikely, but it could happen. The point is that the league is crazy.
Well, it's a good segue to lead us off of the day cap, go to the nightcap. Speaking of crazy, the Raiders just took the lead on the first play of the fourth quarter. Carr found a wide open Darren Waller in the back of the end zone. They look to complete the season sweep. Tomorrow's game, Tampa and LA, that's a pretty big game in terms of the NFC playoff picture. Tampa's still trying to get that division lead. They're looking to tie the Saints. Actually, they'd still be a half game back.
Yeah.
They're trying to match them in wins. The Rams very much alive in NFC West. The Bucks, this is their last game before their bye week. I'm expecting them to light up the scoreboard. I know it's a very good Rams defense, but this is the type of game where Tom Brady going into a bye week, he'll leave it all out there.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting one tomorrow. This one's
and Ronald Jones is hot too.
He is, and they're leaning on him more than Leonard Fournette or McCoy. Forget that McCoy's there; they don't use him. Roster filler. Anyways, that pretty much wraps it up for football. NBA had a couple moves over the last few days. Gordon Hayward to the Hornets. Tatum
for way too much money.
A lot of fucking money.
Why does Gordon Hayward need $120 million?
I don't think the Hornets really ever have a plan.
The Hornets just go out and just do stuff.
Just sign guys, put names to check, and you know what I mean. They don't really have a plan. They just see somebody's name. They're like, "How much?"
Goes to show you that just because Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player of his time, maybe ever, arguably. I'm not going to get into the whole LeBron Jordan thing. I think it's stupid. Just appreciate both of them, but
Jordan was better. Yes,
it goes to show you that he's not going to be good at everything. And as an owner,
yeah, just because you could play the game doesn't mean that you could run a team.
Yeah,
I think that's fair to say.
They're paying
Tatum extended for 5
years.
Yeah, that was a good move. Mitchell extended for 5 years.
So far, though, I'd have to say the Celtics are losers as far as free agency goes because
and the Rockets and the Thunder.
They have holes in their team. They need a legitimate big man, and I don't think Tristan Thompson's their answer.
No,
I really do not think Tristan Thompson is their answer.
no. The Blazers have they've had a quietly good offseason too. I think Rondé Hollis Jefferson just inked up with them. I know Gasol to the Lakers. The T Wolves made a trade with the Knicks for Ed Davis.
The Lakers traded JaVale McGee to the Cavs today, and we got Jordan Bell and somebody else. I don't know if they're going to keep them. I think Jordan Bell would be an all right asset to have on the team. He did decent with the Warriors. The big, the biggest,
Warriors is official.
yeah. Lakers, for a team that just won the championship, like obviously people are gonna have question marks about like, oh, can this team like gel and like mesh like last year's team did? And I think that's on the leadership of the team. And I think LeBron and Anthony Davis will definitely do everything they can to make that happen. Same thing with Frank Vogel. I think he is like the perfect coach for at least for last year's team because he's like a very like even keeled guy. You know what I mean? Just like a very calming presence. Like he gets fired up when he has to get fired up, but like there's no like real like drama with the team. Yeah, the biggest signing is Montrezl Harrell. That shocked me.
Biggest signing. Gordon Hayward is the biggest signing.
For the Lakers, I'm talking about.
Nah, well, league wide, Gordon Hayward is definitely the one that opens eyes.
I think Montrezl Harrell signing opens eyes just because he went from the Clippers to the Lakers, and all the Clippers players
fit in with the Lakers though.
Shocked.
I don't know how well he'll fit in.
I think Marc Gasol will fit in well. He brings that championship experience, and they'll have a solid rotation. Wesley Matthews will be a good shooting option, and Dennis Schroeder I think will do very well there, coming off the bench. KCP's back. That's huge. He was very big for us in the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting. Rajon Rondo, sad to see him go. I think people were like, oh, why didn't he go to the Clippers? Blah, blah, blah. But I think that the Hawks could be a playoff team.
Hawks just snap somebody else too. I think Bogdanovich
signed
for Sheet. So he's been on a roller coaster, thinking he's in Milwaukee, then thinking he's still in Sacramento, and now thinking he's going to be in Atlanta. So let's see if
I think Rondo is a perfect fit there to mentor Trae Young.
Yeah, that'll be good. John Wall wants out of Washington, but this has been known for a while. Yeah. But I think now's the time where it'll actually get done.
Jeremy Grant got a big payday. Shout out Syracuse. Jeremy Grant getting a big deal with the Pistons. No, got to go where the money is, but the Pistons aren't anything special at all.
I know with the NBA this season, a month till it tips off. MLB, come on, man. Don't give us the cold stove again. You got to give us the hot stove. Heading into December is MLB's time to shine. Let's get them signings rolling. Let's get it going. So again, a very depressing, unfortunate Sunday for all of the football world because Sheebs and I had a very rough day. So that means it's depressing for all of you. I don't care what team you enjoy. Tomorrow sucks. This whole week is going to suck until next Sunday night rolls around and we could stomp on the fucking Bears.
You know what sucks?
What sucks?
I mean, Thanksgiving, love the food, but also love the football. And we don't get good football until 8:30 at night.
Yeah. I mean, when was the last time we really had? So the Lions have had 2 playoff appearances this decade. Even those Thanksgiving games can't.
At that point, too, it's just like
last year's Dallas game. At least Buffalo was on, so that was a memorable game.
Yeah, but it's just like with the Lions on Thanksgiving, it's more for the people that if they're playing a good team, the fans of that team. Like I was hyped, but I'm always excited when the Vikings get the Lions on Thanksgiving.
Oh, I love it.
when they're good, not when they're bad.
No, but at least you know it's an easy win. Damn, a win would have been nice. Sheebs was empty of the bench. Anything else you got?
Austin Rivers signed with the Knicks, which I don't think anyone cares about because nobody really
Yeah.
cares about the Knicks.
And if anyone cares, our week will be full of misery and despair. So to help cheer us up, watch this, be a friend, tell a friend, like, subscribe, all the good things to Riding the Pine. We'll be back before Thanksgiving. I'll probably drop Thanksgiving morning while you're getting all your goodies together.
And ready to watch some of that shitty football.
While you're getting ready to watch some of that shitty football and you make your shitty food, you can listen to our shitty podcast. So hey, works out for everybody.
Remember,
On that note,
be a
let's wrap it up
friend,
until then.
tell a friend. Cannot stress that enough.
Yes, please. All right. We'll see you guys in a few days.